Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to the CSS series of Nerd Talkies. In this series, we will cover the topics of competitive exams. The first topic of this series is the basis of life, in which we will try to understand the concepts of nucleus, mitochondria, and ribosome. So let's just start. Friends, all life on earth, no matter its size, is composed of basic unit of life, which is called cell. Unicellular organisms are made up of single cell, while multicellular organisms, such as humans, are composed of several billion cells. Cell is anatomically a structure bound by a membrane that also contains several different organelles which perform specialized function. The term cell was first coined by Robert Hooke in 1965. Now, if we talk about the composition of cell, 2/3 of cell is composed of water, while the rest is a mixture of molecules like protein, carbohydrates, and lipids. The purpose of a cell is to convert raw materials in the food into the molecules a body requires through the different metabolic reactions. A typical cell contains different components, including cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm, endoplasmic reticulum, and so on. It was the basic introduction of cell. Now let's move towards the topic of discussion, nucleus. Nucleus is the most integral component of a cell. The word nucleus derived from the Latin word which means kernel of nut. Nucleus can be defined as a double membrane eukaryotic cell organelle that contains the genetic material, the DNA. But what is DNA? DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA contains the instructions necessary for life. The code within our DNA provides the direction on how to make proteins that are vital for our growth, development, and overall health. Without DNA, cell would not reproduce, which would mean extinction of the species. This nucleus through DNA sends signals to the cell to grow, mature, divide, and reproduce. Nucleus is surrounded by the nuclear envelope that separates the DNA from the rest of the cell. It is relatively a large spherical membrane-bound organelle. Here you can see the label diagram of nucleus showing its component. The first component that we have is nuclear envelope. Nuclear membrane is a double-layered membrane that separates the content of the nucleus from the rest of the cell. It is composed up of the two membranes, the inner membrane and outer membrane. Both membranes consist of phospholipids that are organized in a biolayer. The outer membrane works by the rough endoplasmic reticulum. It is an organelle which is important in the transportation of protein. Endoplasmic reticulum is a separate topic which we will cover later, but for now we will stick with the nucleus. The inner membrane contains proteins that rearrange the nucleus and the genetic material in position. The nuclear lamina is the attachment of proteins and fibers that are linked to the inner membrane. It provides structural support to the nucleus, assists in DNA repair, controls cell cycle events such as cell division, and also on DNA replication. The other component of nucleus is nucleolus. They are basically tiny spherical bodies that are situated in the nucleus, as they are usually present in the centralized side but are typically found closer to the nuclear membrane. What sets them apart from other nuclear material is that they are built by the NOR. NOR are nucleolus organizing regions of chromosome, which is known to store the genes that are necessary for full production of ribosomes and full ribosomal production. The next component that we have is nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm is a remarkably viscous liquid that contains the nuclear hyoplasm. It is a type of protoplasm that is similar to the cytoplasm. What happens is, since specific functions are carried in and outside of the nucleus, a different type of protoplasm is required. So the one that is present in the nucleus is nucleoplasm. Now let's discuss the significant part, the functions of nucleus. Nucleus has several functions. For example, control of the genetic information, which I have already explained in the earlier slides that how through DNA, nucleus control the genetic information. The other function of nucleus is to control the protein and enzyme synthesis that take place in the nucleus, to control the cell division and cell growth, DNA, RNA, and ribosome, regulation of the transcription of the mRNA to protein, as well as the production of ribosome, all are the responsibility of nucleus, and everything takes place within the nucleus. That's all about the introduction, structure, and components of the nucleus. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe our channel. Thank you.